Okay, so I'm majorly responsible for the project delivery and then handling the sprint team working on agile methodology projects. Okay, so I work on the responsible for the delivery lead team of 8 members in a data driven project in agile methodology. I work as a delivery manager, project delivery manager. So that's my high level expectations. So I handle the project health and wealth, depend on the plan and actuals. So that's my day-to-day or high-level activity which I do. I enable the team track the project against the plan, do the sprint planning, prepare the velocity, risk and analysis of the projects, work on a project backlog item. In terms of technology level, like I used to work in Azure DevOps. So that is my project technical stack. So we are preparing the data analytics and supporting the decisions of the business, monitoring the reports on the monthly and weekly basis, interact with client, coordinate with the factory production team for the successful implementation. I also have a wireframe team, designing team in Netherlands, and we define the project and then we deliver the Power BI reports. That's how it is, mostly into data modeling and data management skills. So these are all my goals and roles and responsibilities.
Okay. So in the current project, you mentioned about data platform project, the data integration project.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So what is the current project that you're working on where you are integrating the data?
Okay, the data is coming from various source systems, master data management. We get some monthly data from a third party, Nielsen data. We also have some SAP data. We have CSV files. All these type of data are coming up. We move it into the data lake. From the data lake, we consume the data into data factory, means into Synapse using data factory and Databricks. We have our layers, gold, silver and bronze layers, and then we do the we are having some of the event Azure Event Hub. Also some events are coming, streaming data. So those data everywhere we have our own governance model that moves into Power BI reports using some cubes. There are few live reports also, so dashboards. So this is our project architecture.
Okay. So do you have any big data technologies in this current project, in this whole integration? When I say big data, I'm talking about, we have the Spark streaming or the HDFS.
Not really on the current project, but I am aware of the concepts. That's what it is. Like I have worked on Hive tables. I have worked on streaming data. I have done CSVs. So not really into any big data projects.
Okay. Maybe we touched a bit about the Spark streaming, the project that you worked on Spark streaming in the past.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Tell me, what was the use case where you worked on Spark streaming? What was the project about, and your specific role in that project?
Yes, sure. Okay. So what happened in the project is like we are having some data from the Apache Spark. Okay, so we have sales data and we have a sales data stream coming up, and then we have a product table by its own. Okay, so we have to merge those data into a stream, wherein for a given duration. Okay, so for example, if I talk about the streaming initializations, I read the static product table from the spark.read based on the given formats, whether it's a Parquet format, load the data into a temp table in the Parquet as a product table, and then I have another data set. In that data set, I will be joining with the static DS table from the previous which I was created as a load, and then I'll be mapping with the product ID and category, and then the new sales information as a new column for the given product. So based on this, I'll be writing out. So approximately, say for example, I'll read 5 files. Okay, it will take around 18 seconds to read the file, and then it will be having some metadata time of 6 milliseconds, and then the file size will be it depends. Okay, so the output will be taken up across the things, and then we'll move it out. So that's how we are moving the columnar data, streaming data, and merging out with the product by doing some lookup with the map partitions. So that's how it works.
For the Spark streaming, what you just explained about mapping the tables and loading it into the other table, right? Did you write any Scala code or Java code?
No, just now I said the code, right? Like I am creating a value, streaming in the stream, creating a data frame. Inside data bricks, I used to write a code.
I mean, my point is,
Pyspark.
you wrote the code with Pyspark, is it?
Yes, Pyspark.
Okay, understand.
See, I am
Anything
declaring
else,
a
any other
variable.
use cases?
Declaring two variables. Okay, I am reading the stream in the reader stream. Just now I said the code, right? Like means I read the stream, read the format as a Kafka file, and then if it is a Kafka file, then where is the server, which server, what is the subscriptions, and then I will set it as a load, and then I will read the Spark, and then do an inner join between two of these data frames, and then I will do the output, and then that output I will create as a file, CSV file, and then I will using data factory, I will call those file, and then move it into my SQL server. That's the flow.
Okay, understand. When was this project executed from? How many years back? Is it something that you worked recently?
This is my current project. Like it's a 1 year duration. So we are having some till December. Means we started in January, so it's a new project. We are now defining some of the wireframes. So that's what it is going on now. So this is the project, a long term version 2 actually. Version 1 we did last year. So just we are doing the business project management flow version 2 this year.
Okay. So beyond this technical role, you are also doing a Scrum Master role in the current project.
Yes, correct. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. So as a Scrum Master,
yeah, go ahead.
So as a Scrum Master, like what I'm doing is the Scrum team, we have 8 members team. Developers are there, product owner is there, Scrum Master, and I'm the Scrum Master here. So the Scrum events, what are the events we have for each and every sprint? What and all I'm checking whether is there any changes made in the sprint goal, is there any quality increase or decrease, the product backlogs, checking at the product owner informations, doing the sprint planning. So what is the each and every sprint, whether the task I create on Epic, and then that Epic I am just splitting up into each and every subtask, and then these things happening in terms of the sprint, and then we are having a daily scrum of a 15 minutes time, and then we do the sprint review, sprint retrospective. So complete activities I am doing. Also handling the product backlog. If it is any product backlog is there, then I used to discuss with the product owner, and then rearrange its importance, and then come up with a common goal to meet the definition of plan. So that is how I work on this sprint planning.
Okay. So explain me the sprint ceremonies in the sequence. Let's say your current project. Let's take your current project as an example.
Yes,
you would already had your backlog.
Yes, correct.
Between you and the product owner, how did you guys decide, okay, I have to bring these specific stories into a particular sprint, and how do you estimate how many stories can be completed in a sprint?
Okay, so in the product backlog, like we have to define which and all product is happening, which is not happening, so that like based on each and every activity, right, like we will be defining what is the goal of the activity, whether this is there anybody responsible, or there is there any dependency of the backlog. We will do the product discovery, prioritize the task, do the sprint planning, and then do the review of the product project. That's how it is working.
My question is, in a sprint planning, for example, your product backlog has 100 stories.
Okay.
Right? How do you decompose this 100 into, okay, my sprint 1, I'll take these 10, sprint 2, I'll take only 4, sprint 3, I'll take only 5. So how do you do this planning, this allocation?
Okay. So estimation you are asking. So in the terms of estimation, right? Like so each and every activity we are defining, like how much time we have to do that activity. So for example, 4 hours, one small task is there. What is the risk? What is the points we have to see? then create a story point matrix. Okay, what is the amount of effort required, what is the time required, what is the task complexity, and then how is that task is created. So if there is any minimum effort, right, like I am giving very few hours, 4 hours like that. If there is any severe effort is required, I'll give you for 2 days. 2 days means 16 hours. Like that way we are defining that activity, and then we are planning and executing. Whenever is there any during the plan, is there any changes, means that time also we are using the, we will see whether it is doable or not, and then on daily everyday connect, right, like we are checking, right. So if the developer is saying that he need more time, then we will write the extended hours, and then we will take the average time and then mention that that user story will be going long. That's how we are defining.
How about the prioritization? For example, what we just discussed is number of hours required for a particular story. Let's say in the total sprint. By the way, how many weeks is your sprint?
2 weeks sprint.
Okay, 2 weeks sprint, and you have 8 developers.
Yes, correct.
You account for 8 hours per day for each developer, is it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, which means 64 hours per day.
Correct, yeah.
And then into what, 10 days, right?
Yes, yes.
2
10
weeks
days
sprint.
sprint. 2 weeks, 10 days sprint, yeah.
640 hours is what
Yes,
you
correct.
got.
Yes, correct, yeah.
Is the max available to you to plan your sprint?
Yes,
Correct?
correct.
So, one part of the problem is you will have to calculate the time required for covering each of these stories. Okay, whether you can only take up, let's say, 640 hours of work in a week, how many stories you can take up as handling. My point is, out of 100 stories that you have in the backlog, you have a priority, right? For example, these are the sequence of steps that I need to execute. I need to execute story 1 before I go and execute the story 7.
Okay.
The sequencing of the story is done by sprint, and what is before that is that. Because otherwise, we can take any story and give it to a sprint within 4 hours or less, right? But we don't do that practice, right? We look at your complete product backlog, you identify the sequence of steps that you need to execute, so that you build some meaningful program with your product, right?
Yes, correct, yeah.
So my question is, in your current project, how did you just do that? And what was your role in that? Did you play any role in prioritizing these and the sequencing of story? Have you heard about story mapping in the agile framework?
Yeah, so what I can say is like whether the story is an extremely large story or it's a very large story, moderate story, those type of story level we will define based on the story's importance. And then if the stakeholder or the product owner is saying this has to be completed immediately in this sprint only, then we will give prioritize to that activity. And then if there is any sub or related activity which can be done based on the selected story, those story will give the prioritizations. So each and every story, if there is any dependency story, we have to do that dependency story also as part of the team. So we have to plan it out such a way that we can give at the end of the day, end of the 2 week sprint, we can showcase to the users and then say them that we have done these things, and then these are ending. That we can define it out.
Okay. What is your release framework? Like, how frequently you release things to production, and what are the different tools that you use for the deployment?
So release framework is like we are doing the 2 week sprint only, right? Like, so project release plan. So what is the so in any release cycle as usual, right? Like, okay, whatever is the release cycle we will do is what is the change, okay, what is the change cause, why it is changed, what is the intended outcome, what is the estimated time frame, those things and all we will give, and then what is the cost if we are able to get the cost, and then who are all the stakeholders of that task. So these things and all we will capture. What is the changes in terms of any project cost is changing, or if there's any structure changing, those type of things and all we will calculate.
Okay.
So if I want to say the release life cycle, right? Like the life cycle is first of all, the request for change is coming. From the request of changing, we have to release the design plan, and then we have to build the software. We have to review, test, deployment. After that deployment, any issues reporting, any changes is, any reports or any defect is found, then we will again iterate that process.
In your 2-week sprint, how do you follow your release in the bottlenecks? For example, on day 1,
okay,
you groom your stories, right? Saying this is what exactly the requirement is. In a way the developer understands it.
yeah.
How you do your story grooming outside this 2-week sprint? What do you plan?
Actually, for me, the process, it's a long running project, right? Like, so each and every like Databricks, Data Factory, Power BI report, we no need to give the grooming cost because it's a version 2. So we know, means my team is already capable of understanding that process, whatever we are trying to do and all.
Okay,
So there is, so we are just defining the epics, and then that story points the user himself take it out, and then we are going out and doing the design development and doing the launch planning. We also have the test and QA release for preparations, so that like test and QA is fine done means we will go it for move to production after showing the user demo.
in 2 week sprint, you do all this. You do the design, you do the build, you do your testing, you do your UAT, and you also do the release in 2 week sprint. Is it?
Yes, yeah. We have a separate team. Okay, so means team is what that representative person is there. So we are planning for release kickoff meeting. We are defining the features already itself and what is the customer need, and that when we are having the client call, right, like we are telling this is all we are going to take it up in the development phase. This is what you can expect. So that like we give the demo ourselves. This most of the strategy planning is already completed kind of things. Like.
Okay. So Shandu, my question is, you have 8 developers. Are all these 8 developers who work on the build, or there are some testers also in these 8 resources?
We have developers across Data Factory, Databricks, Power BI, and 2 people in Data Factory. So then we have one tester, we have one DevOps person also in the team. So all are combinationally developed as a team.
Got it. So within these 8 resources that you've got, you have Data Factory developers, you have Power BI developers, you also have a tester, you also have DevOps. All 8.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, correct.
Good. So my question is, let's say the developer guy who is working on say Power BI or Data Factory got a requirement on the day 1 of your sprint.
Okay.
So you are saying the developer already knows what he or she is supposed to do. There's no need to groom the story or do any design. So you directly start your build, is it, on day 1?
Yeah.
In your 2 week sprint. Okay. Okay, fine. I'm okay with that. So in 2 week sprint, you start your build. Let's say this is a 2-day story. The developer completes the story in 2 days. The developer also completes the unit testing. Hand over to the tester. Tester then hand over, let's say, to the user for UAT. And then the developer also, once the UAT sign off is received, developer also plans the release in the same sprint. That's what you normally do. You tell me what you're actually doing in current sprint. Because everybody operates different way. There's no right or wrong.
Yeah, that's
what you do.
Yeah, sure. So that's what now, as I said, like, so currently what we are doing is like, we are building the wireframes. Okay, so what happens is like we are defining, interacting with the individual responsible team member. We'll discuss with the client side team. So based on that, we will give our own prioritization to each and every epic. That epic user story. We will be creating what is the prioritization and then what is the time frame we are going to give on each and every activity, and then once it is all developed, then we will give it to the testing team. They will do the testing, and then they will be delivering it to the DevOps team to move it into the respective environment. So that's how it's working out from your side.
What are the different tools that you use for production deployment?
We are using Azure DevOps.
I mean, I need specific tool names that you use in DevOps, right? I mean, where do you store your source code? How do you deploy it into production?
In Azure DevOps, all these are like covered. Okay, inside Azure DevOps only, we are having this Azure boards is there, Azure pipelines, Azure repos, Azure test plan, and Azure artifacts. All are there in a part and written part of the Azure itself. Like because development we are doing in Azure Data Factory, there we have the drop down, move into which version and all. So once it is done using the Azure repos, there only it will be directly taken up into the system. So it will be ready for testing. In the test management plan, we are having the end-to-end traceability. We can run the traceability, what changes has been done. Based on that, we will just do the testing. And then we have the dev test lab also in that part. In that, we are doing the dev test labs. That also we are doing. So it's all fit and part of Azure cloud. So everything is in Azure cloud. So in that Azure boards, right? Like for example, it is similar to Jira board only. Like what and all we are doing. Like what is the sprint? How are you sprint? How are you working on the setting of the capacity? How will you monitor the sprint burn down chart? We have all these charts also as part of that, and then we are setting up the what is the traceability items, what and all we can do, and then connecting to the Azure board also. Okay, for example, in the Azure boards, we will create the configuration, sprint, team backlog, what are the implementations, how will you close the sprint, what is the sprint board, who is it assigned to, what is the work is done, what is the remaining work, what is the heading, all these things we are all having the sprint only, it is all covered in the Azure boards. I am not using Jira boards from my project because this client is having a tie-up with Azure. Everything is in Azure only. So what is work done, what is the work pending, what is the capacity, what is the done capacity, what are the overall capacity, everything we have this. In the monitoring of the burn down chart, right? Like once I'm clicking the task board, we have the sprint burn down chart and that is there. All the charts we can see, velocity chart is there. Everything is available.
Have you worked on the Jira boards in the past in your previous projects as a Scrum Master?
No, I have theoretical knowledge, but I don't have hands-on.
Okay, so you always use Azure board only, but not actual Jira board, Jira software.
Yeah, I did not get a chance to use the Atlassian, but I attended some trainings. I see everything is similar only. Just logic is same, but the thing is,
understand.
Don't hands-on.
The tool is different. Okay, understand. Yeah. So, as a senior lead and as a Scrum Master, how do you manage your stakeholders? What are different kinds of reports that you publish? How do you ensure that they are informed in terms of what you are delivering, any blockers, how do you resolve these blockers? Explain me about that part of your job.
Okay. So coming to the dependency trackers and the delivery planning, right? Like, so we are setting up what is the review plan. I'm setting up each and every planning, editing the plan, setting the plans, and then I will be connecting with the business users. And then we also have our plan defined already, right? So that like we can set up with them, and then I will go ahead and then show them this is what the plan, which is the iterations we have mentioned, what is the backlogs we have captured. All these things.
Business is what for Deloitte, is it an internal project or is it a client of Deloitte?
It is a client of Deloitte, and then I'm doing I'm going to client location and I'm working in the client office. We are not working doing a project. We are doing time and material. So we full day do that project. That's right.
And your product owner, is he from client side or
yes, client side.
Internal?
Client side. They are from Netherlands.
Okay. So, what are the different kinds of reports that you submit to your client or your business stakeholders? How frequently you guys do this catch up?
Yeah, we have this bi-weekly Scrum catch up meetings. Okay. So that way we are showing the burn down chart, burn up chart. Those two things only we are majorly using, and then the velocity chart. These three charts only we are using. Burn down, burn up, and velocity chart. These three charts.
Okay. In terms of sharing the project with the senior leadership, do you feel any kind of presenting some report present to the senior leadership, or it is taken care by your product owner?
I have a little bit idea, but I don't do it on frequently because I am giving the charts to him, like what is the goal, days done, what is the velocity, remaining those things only I am giving to him, and then explaining the situations, what is happened, what is the velocity, and then the remaining time. That is my scope as of now. But I can do that things also.
Okay, understand. Updates the senior stakeholders. But if given an opportunity, if you have to do that, because they're looking for this project that I'm hiring, we are looking for someone who takes the ownership of this entire integration and does the stakeholder management also.
Okay. Yeah, stakeholder is nothing but like this current organization is like that defined. So if I'm getting a chance, like I'll be interacting. It's not a constraint. Like I can meet the client, I can face the client, I can mention what is happening in each and every phases, what is the start, what is the finish, what is the percentage completed, what is the duration happening, resource wise or it like the priority wise, that and all I can handle.
Okay.
Budget costing, I don't have a real time experience because that there is some firm level they are not showing it. So otherwise, costing, tracking, budgeting, costing, that also I can do.
Understand. Okay. So in terms of the dependencies with other teams, resolving the blockers for your developers so they can move forward.
Yeah.
As a Scrum Master, how actively you take up these activities in your current project, because you may also have your own individual contribution role what to do, right? Because if you are also playing Scrum Master as an additional role and you have your own set of deliverables, how effectively you are managing today your developers, dependencies, blockers?
In case of any blockers, obviously we know who is the blocker like that, and then either I try to reach the person or else I will report it to my product owner and then put him in a CC saying that like can you do it in a soft way. Otherwise I will let the product owner to reach the concerned person's product owner and then they will do the helpful work because it's an inter firm. So in that case there is no working with a third party or like that. So in my project currently it's all interfirm. So I just write an mail to the person keeping my product owner in CC, or else in anyhow we have some of the other connects, right? At that time I used to remember these things and then I'll make sure that the things is dependencies are met in the given milestone, so that like we can track the process and indicator whenever it is breaching our this one, right, time slot, right? Like immediately I used to report it to product owner and the things happens on the time.
Have you worked on any banking projects in the past? Your clients?
No, not
financial institutions, any banks in the past?
No, not yet.
Your current project, your current client is from which industry?
It is the oil and gas.
Okay. So you did not work for any banking industry in the past?
No, my mostly into customer service, consumer goods, textile. These are all oil and gas. So these are all my work areas.
I see. Okay. Understand. All right.
Okay.
Are there any specific questions for me, Chandu?
No, I think so. It's a very preliminary round, but I got the JD and I understand that JD is aligning to my skill. Apart from that, also I also have a technical knowledge and I can speak in technical terms in terms of a data project. So it's a data project or what kind of project is it? What's
it's a data project? It is a data project.
Okay.
We use Spark. We use HDFS.
Okay.
These technologies. More than that, we are looking for more senior and mature leader who can manage the project end to end.
Okay.
Manage the developers, the stakeholders, also the dependencies with other downstream systems. Looking for somebody who can play that leadership role with also hands-on experience.
Yeah.
Not somebody who just talk, who can actually go to the coding, understand what's happening in the code. If not, at least read the code, understand what is happening.
Yeah, sure, that is important, right? Otherwise, developer will give wrong timelines and then we will be in It will not be helping
Exactly.
to the project.
Yeah. So I'm not looking for somebody who is a pure Scrum Master who just comes and talks, manages Jira board. My expectation is this particular position, whoever it is, I'm the expert.
Yeah, that's what. Now, like Scrum Master, it's again a tool. Like then we have to have the connect and establishment. That's how we lead to the success of the project.
Yeah. Any further questions? Anything else you would like to?
Nothing as of now. Maybe on the further rounds, if I'm going through, I might ask.
Sure.
That's what. Thanks. Thanks,
All right,
Rupesh.
Shamil. Thank you so much for your time. You have been really patient. I really appreciate that.
Thank you
I'll
for your
touch base
time.
with Suresh in Unison, yeah, and we'll take it up from there. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Rupesh. Thanks.
Thanks, Shamil.
Okay,
Bye bye.
okay,
Take
bye.
care.
Thanks.